Pris here, and welcome to my channel, and as you can see by the setup, it's time to play Phase 10, Chooses My TBR. So September is looking like it might be my craziest month ever, and I can tell you that as of right now, I have 2 books left on my August TBR for Phase 10. I believe between completing phases and skips, I had plenty to cover those 2, so even if I don't finish them, I'll be fine, but I see no reason why I won't because I still have like a week to go. My plans for September are crazy. I actually have a note here because of how much I have going on. So, I'm going to be doing dedicated TBRs for these, so I want to mention the Readathons I'm going to be taking part in. I'm going to be taking part in Becca's Bookoplathon, Middle Grade Magic, which runs from September 1st through September 11th, Seasonathon Academy, the Fall Into Reading Challenge, which is taking place in September, October, and November, and I will not have a set TBR for that. I will be filling in the board as I go with books that I'm reading, and then if I get to November and I have specific prompts I need to fill, then I will worry about it. Roll the Rainbow Readathon, which is the 12th through the 18th, and Series September. All of the information about all of those will be linked in the description below. But like I said, other than the Fall Into Reading Challenge, all of them will have separate TBR videos coming out on my channel, so keep an eye out for that. So as for other books I need to get to, I am still doing the buddy read of the Enola Holmes series with Naomi, and I am waiting for the next book to come out. It comes out, I want to say, on September 6th, so hopefully I will be able to get it in September and read it. I'm still doing Keeper Along, I have Buzzwordathon, and I'm still doing the Backlist Book Club, and Pris from Pris Peruses has now started tackling tomes, and I'm hoping to get to that. So again, all of the info for all of the readathons, read-alongs, buddy reads, etc. will be linked in the description below. I just have a lot of books that I want to get to. So this could be an absolutely crazy month. So we're really, really hoping that my Phase 10 board will be kind to me. Fingers crossed. As for the things I get to before I get to my Phase 10 game, first up is my nonfiction. I've decided I'm going to read Dewey, the small town library cat who touched the world. And I don't know much about this, but it says he was an abandoned kitten, frostbitten, starving, scared, and about to become world famous. So hopefully I will enjoy this. I like libraries, I like cats, so it felt like a good, easy read on a month when I'm going to have a lot of craziness, and hopefully I can somehow fit it on my TBR. I mean, I have cat on the cover. I've got several different colors on the cover. Nonfiction, obviously, new to me author. There's lots of things this could count for. So hopefully I'll be able to get it on my TBR. And then there is my series star. This is updated. And I literally dumped all of the pieces of paper out and put them back in so they're all mixed up because it's so full now that they don't move. So we're going to pick 3 from here. Paper is going to go everywhere. I think I need a bigger bucket. And yeah, let's dive in. Oh, we're going to go with that red one. I'm trying to do this without spilling a bunch, so we're taking closer to the top. That green one. And this green one. Okay. Let's see. The first series I pulled is Wild Lore by Amanda Foody. So the second book in this series is called The Weeping Tide. If I remember correctly, I really enjoy book 1, though off the top of my head, I don't remember exactly what it was about. I believe we followed a boy who ended up going into the forest and somehow getting marked, which meant he had to leave his town and travel to a magical town on the other side of the forest because he wanted whatever mark is probably the wrong word, but he wanted that removed so he could go back to just being a normal boy, and things progressed from there. I feel like I read it not all that long ago, but with the amount of books I read in between books, this one just, the specifics aren't sticking in my head, so I'm definitely down to read the second book because I remember enjoying the first one. So that is my first series. My second series is The Time Quintet by Madeleine L'Engle. And I think I can't read book 5 yet. That's the book I'm on, because this is a series with A Wrinkle in Time, until I start a different series. Because if I remember correctly, book 5 in this series is also like book 4 in another series, and you ideally would read the kind of spin-off series first. And I am not starting a new series to read this, so I'm going to pick something else. Mainly because I don't want to have to add that to my TBR. And it's my game, my rules, and I'm saying I can't read book 5 in this particular series because I would have to start a different series. Hopefully that makes sense and is fair. So, actually, we're going to go with one of the ones on the floor, so don't spill any more on the floor. And I'm going to go with this orange one here. And I've got Secrets of the Seven by Sarah L. Thompson. So this one is doable. The second book is The Eagle's Quill. This is a series I haven't thought about in a long time. The first book is actually The Eureka Key. Yes, okay. So we're following a middle school puzzle master named Sam and history whiz Martina. They win a contest for a summer trip across the states and discover they've been drafted into something vastly more exciting. Joining Theo, the last descendant of American icon, they begin an extraordinary adventure across national landmarks and natural wonders, following clues to find 7 artifacts left behind by the Founding Fathers. Together, these historical artifacts are keys to unlock Benjamin Franklin's greatest invention, a powerful secret weapon. Each of the artifacts is hidden and protected with puzzles, riddles, and traps. This has kept the invention safe until now. Gideon Arnold, a dangerous descendant of the infamous Benedict Arnold, is on the chase. Okay, I vaguely remember reading this now. I was pretty sure that I knew which series this was, but this just confirms it. I legitimately read this so long ago that, like, I wasn't sure I had the details right, but I did. I knew exactly which one this was, because I would have said it had something to do with secret keys, and we're following a couple of kids who won a contest, and yeah. So I remember enough. I actually, funnily enough, remembered more about this than I did about the Wild Lore book, which I know I've read more recently than this one. And yet I enjoyed Wild Lore more than I enjoyed this one too. Very weird what the brain chooses to remember. So I will be reading The Eagle's Quill in September, and I'm totally okay with that. It provides me a chance to read a series that I probably would not have gotten back to on my own because I would have just forgotten it existed. So that's exactly why I have this. And then my last series is Time by Megan Morrison. Okay, I believe these are fairy tale retellings. Let me go check. So my library seems to have this one too. It's called Transform the Perils of the Frog Prince, and I believe it is a Princess and the Frog retelling. I know the first one was a Rapunzel retelling. I actually own that one. It's another one that it's been ages since I read, so actually dumping them out and mixing them back up seemed to have actually gotten me some of the older series I started, which is nice because the whole point of this bucket was to get to series that wouldn't necessarily be on my radar because they weren't fresh in my brain, but that I did want to continue. So this would have me caught up in the series, so I'm pretty happy with that. I can't complain. So those are going to be the 3 series that I continue in the month of September, and now I think it's time to start Phase 10. Now again, I'm hoping that it'll be kind to me. I'm going for a run of 8. I have a lot of work to do over there. I don't feel very hopeful, but we're going to dive in and we're going to see if I can get as many books as I can on my TBR that I was already planning to read for various reasons. So, draw number 1 is an 11. I need an 11. That works. We'll just swap it out for this red 10, since I don't need 2 10s. The prompt for red 10 is, be kind to me, please. Oh, God. Longest book on my TBR. So I'm absolutely going to cheat and not pick the longest book I own, like that's on my physical TBR, and just pick the longest book that is on the TBR that I already planned to get to because I have so many books. And again, my games, my rules, I've done this before. We'll probably do it again. Okay, so based on that quick check, the longest book on my TBR that I wanted to get to is Legacy, which is book 8 in the Keeper of the Lost Cities series. It clocks in at 789 pages, so almost 800. I think the longest book on my physical TBR is about 1,000, so I think this comes close enough to count. It is a giant chunker. I'm reading this as part of Keeper Along, which is hosted by Pris from Pris Peruses. We're getting very close to the new book, which will be on my November TBR, and I'm very excited to be caught up. In the series, we're following a young girl named Sophie who has the ability to read minds, and in the first book meets a boy named Fitz, who explains to her that the reason she has the ability to read minds is because she's actually an elf, and he whisks her away off to the Lost Cities where she learns more about her heritage and where she came from. I absolutely love this series, and I've been really enjoying my reread, so I'm excited that this is the first book on my official Phase 10 TBR. Draw number 2 is a 6. I need a 6. I'm going to go with the blue one because, well, I'm not going to need any ones. So hopefully I'll be able to spin them all. And the prompt for blue one is Own Voices. So for Own Voices, I'm going to read Dragons in a Bag by Zeta Elliott. This is a story about a boy named Jackson. And it says he really doesn't want to spend the day with the mean old lady everyone calls Ma until he finds out she's a witch. She needs Jackson's help to move 3 baby dragons out of Brooklyn and into the magical world where they can survive. Before he knows it, Jackson and his friends have broken the only 2 rules Ma gave him about dragons. Keeping them in the bag was not as easy as it sounded. Will Jax deliver the baby dragons safe and sound, or will they be lost in Brooklyn forever? I've heard this is a really, really cute, sweet book, so I am very excited to read it, and it is on the shorter side, so I am definitely going to need books like that for this month, so this will be my book for Own Voices. Draw number 3 is a red 7, and I don't need a 7. And the prompt for red 7 is nonfiction. I bet you all know exactly what I'm reading for this one. Dewey, the small town library cat who touched the world. So this was my nonfiction pick. There is no reason not to use this as my nonfiction pick for Phase 10. So this is going on my TBR. Draw number 4 is a 9. I need a 9. And we'll steal the yellow one. And the prompt for yellow one is Rick Riordan Presents. So for this, I'm going to read Arusha and the City of Gold. This is the 4th book in the Pandava series. I've really enjoyed this series, and this is the perfect excuse to get back to it. I love when Rick Riordan Presents comes up because it means I will get a book chock full of mythology, and like I said, I've really enjoyed this series. So that is what I will be reading for Rick Riordan Presents. Draw number 5 is a 4. Do I need a 4? I need a 5. 4 and a 3. So yes, I do need a 4. So we'll stick with the ones. We'll go with a red one. And the prompt for red 1 is set outside the US/UK. So for this, I'm going to read Shorefall by Robert Jackson Bennett. This is the 2nd book in the Founders trilogy. And this is set in a fantasy world. So therefore it is definitely set outside the US or UK because the fantasy element is a whole different land, and I think that counts. Usually when I get this prompt, I'm trying to find a book that is set in a country that is not the United States or the United Kingdom, but I don't know that I have a book like that on my TBR. So I went for one of the fantasies because they're all set outside the US, UK. I'm tweaking this a little, but again, my game, my rules, and I'm trying to make it easier for me. So Shorefall will be the book that I read in September. Draw number 6 is a 2. I do not need a 2. The prompt for green 2 is Booktuber Fave. So I think for this, I'm going to go with Red Sister by Mark Lawrence. This was one of Cassidy's faves for whatever-a-thon, and I had it out of the library for that specific reason. And I haven't gotten to it yet. So I think I'm going to stick it on my September TBR for Booktuber Fave because it is the first book that came to mind, and it's due back to the library soon. Like, I don't think I can keep requesting it, so I'm going to be reading it anyways. So why not stick it on my TBR? Draw number 7 is a 7. And the prompt for yellow 7 is odd page number. So this is literally any book with an odd page number. So for this, I'm going to read The Castle of Tangled Magic by Sophie Anderson. It clocks in at 291 pages. That's an odd page number. This is a 5-star prediction, and I really need to start reading those, and so I have absolutely no problem putting this on my TBR. I was planning to get to it in September anyways, and I've loved Sophie Anderson's other 2 books, and I'm very excited to get to this one. Draw number 8 is a 2. I don't need a 2. And the prompt for Red 2 is no people on the cover. So for this, I'm going to read Lady Takes the Case by Eliza Casey. There is a cat on the cover, but there is not any people. So this is the first book in a new series, and it takes place in England in 1912. It says, Danby Hall is the only home Lady Cecilia Bates has ever known. Despite the rigid rules and her mother, the Countess of Avebury's fervent desire to see her married off, Lady Cecilia cannot imagine life anywhere else. But when hard times hit, the fate of Danby Hall is suddenly in peril. A possible solution arrives in the form of the imperious American heiress Annabel Clark. The Earl and Countess of Avebury are determined that Cecilia's brother will win Annabel's hand in marriage, and her fortune along with it. But when a guest dies after sipping from a glass meant for Annabel, it is clear the Bateses have a more pressing problem, a murderer in their midst. Cecilia sets out to find the culprit with the help from Annabel's maid and her curiously intelligent cat Jack. With a stranger lurking in the village and Danby's guests and residents growing restless under questioning, Cecilia knows time is ticking to find the killer and protect her home. So I have predicted that I'm going to give this 5 stars. It seems like it has all of the elements in place for me to do so. Hopefully I will love this, and it's another book I was hoping to get to in September, so this totally works for me. Draw number 9 is a 6. And the prompt for Red 6 is paperback. For this, I'm going to read Eva Evergreen, Semi-Magical Witch by Julie Abe. We're following Eva Evergreen, and she is determined to earn the rank of Novice Witch before her 13th birthday. If she doesn't, she'll lose her magic forever. For most young witches and wizards, it's a simple test. The only problem, Eva only has a pinch of magic. She summons heads of cabbages instead of flowers and gets a sunburn instead of calling down rain. And to add insult to injury, whenever she overuses her magic, she falls asleep. When she lands in the tranquil coastal town of Auteury, the residents expect a powerful witch, not a semi-magical girl. So Eva comes up with a plan. Set up a magical repair shop to help Auteury and prove she's worthy. She may have more blood and magic in her veins, but her semi-magical fixes repair the lives of the townspeople in ways they never could have imagined. But will Eva's bit of magic be enough when the biggest magical storm in history threatens the town she's grown to love? So I've heard this has Kiki's delivery service vibes, and it certainly sounds like it from the description. This is another 5-star prediction, so again, was hoping to read it in September, got it on my TBR, very happy about this. And for what is hopefully our final draw number 10, it's a 2. I will take it. Only 10 draws. Very happy with this. And I got book from my last haul. So this is pretty easy because it just means I need to pick any book that I referenced in my last haul video, which was for April, May, and June. And so I'm going to be reading Forging Silver into Stars. This is the 4th of my 5-star predictions that I need to read. So yeah, this is the first book in the spin-off series to her Cursebreaker series. We're following different characters, and I believe it's 5 years after the events of the Cursebreaker series. I really enjoyed that series, and I enjoy Bridget Kemmer's writing, so I'm hoping that this gets 5 stars and that I love it. Wow. It was actually nice to me. Makes me wonder what Bookoplathon has got in store for me. So this is my stack along with Arusha, I believe. Yeah, because there's, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. Not bad. 4 of them are 5-star predictions, which I plan to get to. I had Shorefall on my TBR because I really wanted to get to it. Obviously, Dewey was on my TBR because it was my nonfiction, and Keeper of the Lost Cities was on my TBR. So, all in all, I was able to get a lot of the books I was already planning on reading onto my Phase 10 TBR. So, a very nice month, in a month where I really, really needed it. Hopefully, Bookoplathon will be nice to me too, because, well, I could really use some nice. And yeah, I think that's it. I'm actually very excited about this TBR because, 4 5-star predictions. And I know Keeper of the Lost Cities is a 5-star because it was 5 stars first time I read it. And Shorefall is a 5-star prediction. It's not one of my official 5-star predictions, but I gave Foundry Side 5 stars, so I'm assuming that Shorefall will get it too. So yeah, it sounds like a lot of books that I'm really, really thinking I'm going to love. So I'm very happy with what Phase 10 did to me this month. So yeah, that's the end of this video. All of my social media is linked in the description below if you'd like to come chat with me. If you've made it this far in the video, leave me dragon emojis, because I'm reading Dragons in a Bag, and it was the first thing that popped in my head. Like this video and subscribe to my channel, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye!